9:02, we'll call this meeting with Wichita County Commissioners Court order. Everyone please rise. Y'all would please bow your heads and join me in prayer. Father God, we come to you today with so many disturbing things going on in our country right now and throughout the world. As we see acts of terrorism and hate, you brought us here and gave us the commandment to love one another as we love you. Let that thought become paramount in our lives. Let us share that and take care of each other. Father, forgive us of our sins and guide us. Father, we ask that you watch over the young men and women that serve in uniform in so many services to the public, whether they be the military, law enforcement, or first responders. Father, we thank you for the rain that we had again over the weekend. As our good friend Commissioner Mahler says, it's got to be a good thing when it rains in June, July, or August. And we've had that all 3 months. Father, we ask that you guide this court and make its decisions. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now the Texas pledge, please.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Take your seats, please. I would ask that Lieutenant Penaluna and Sheriff Duke come forward, and Terry, why don't you join us, or are you going to take pictures? Okay.
How can Robert have 40 years of service? I didn't think he was 40 years old.
Does he live in your precinct?
Maybe.
Scrabbing for votes.
There you go.
Well, he's been married to Terry, I found out today, for 37 years. I had to ask, trying to figure out how that all went on.
That may be against the law. I'm not sure.
I think the statute of limitations has run out.
Probably has.
I don't know who's the stronger to put up with each other, but we love them both anyhow. Robert, it's my honor to read this appreciation certificate to you for 40 years of service to Wichita County. Congratulations on reaching milestone. This ought to be millennia stone service anniversary. Through your hard work, dedication, loyalty, which Wichita County is able to provide quality service to the citizens of Wichita County. In honor of your service, we are pleased to offer you a Choice Anniversary Award. Please accept your gift as an expression of our gratitude for the contributions you continue to make every day. On behalf of the Commissioners Court, we recommend you, this is signed by David Duke, and I'm ready. You get to finish the last paragraph, Sheriff. I'm sorry. I thought we both signed that. You want me to hold that?
I'm going to get the glasses. I don't know who in the county government types this up on here for us, but I need to figure both.
We're down to that.
On behalf of the Commissioners Court, we commend you for your service and wish you every success as you continue your career toward your next milestone, another 40 years, I think. Your commitment to Wichita County is deeply appreciated. Thank you so much for what you do. I've got a couple things I want to say about you. You get the photograph.
All right.
So we're going to do that here as well. I was 18 years old when I started working here in the old county jail, and Robert was one of the first guys I met. And he talked so much, I thought, man, this guy, he doesn't talk to anybody. Because Robert was such a mild-mannered person, just as you know him today. He has not changed. Maybe some of the hair, all of our hair is neat, but he has not changed his demeanor, his attitude, his work ethic, anything. And I've known a lot of county employees in my career here, and Robert has been the one person who has been steadfast and continued doing his commitment to this agency and this county. And I don't know what his secret is to it, but it's been something that's been really successful for the community and for the county as a whole. And Robert, if you would, tell a little bit about your career to everyone. I know they don't know all you did. The only me and you, I think, the only two know, but a couple of other people in Ontario know. Tell them when you first started and what you did.
I started in 1977 as a dispatcher. Worked through the jail division. In 1981, I became field deputy.
And in those days, did you wear a uniform or a tie and suit?
Suit and tie.
Wow.
I remember that, and I thought, well, these guys with these suits and ties on, it's 105 degrees outside. And then they went to blue uniforms.
Finally went to blue uniform.
And I've got I got the actual patch for the one of my first uniform when I was a deputy was the generic sheriff's department patch with an eagle on the side of it. That didn't last long before it was changed. In those days, we had to buy our badges, our uniforms, our bulletproof vest, everything. And we were saving the county a lot of money back in those days, guys. So things have changed.
You know, history repeats itself, sure. So be careful.
It can. But Robert has can tell you all kinds of stories, and just like Bob Hampton, sometimes there's a lot of history of people in this room that knows a lot of things about the history that goes on in Wichita County. And I believe a lot of these people that's been here only about 15 or 20 years, they forget about guys like some of us that's been here a long time and remembers a lot of things that's happened. And I don't want to let Willie out of that around me, because Willie remembers a lot of things that happens here too as well. But Robert, it's a pleasure and it's an honor to be able to work with you. I know that just over the time, whatever I was in a deputy position, got to take some of your advice, and I tell you what, it's been a great career being able to work with you. This man here is I would say the best evidence custodian I've ever seen in law enforcement, period, hands down to any agency. He turned our evidence rooms and evidence, way we deal with it, turned it completely around where it should be one of the top ones in the state of Texas. And Robert can tell you exactly how much pieces of evidence we have and how many rooms we have scattered in right now. And I'm sure believe he's looking forward to seeing a new evidence room and the other storage facility as well with it. So it's all coming together. Robert, once again, I just can't tell you enough how much I appreciate what you've done and everything, how you've done it, how you treated all the employees you deal with every day. Robert doesn't have a mean bone in him, I don't think. I have seen him mad a couple times, and it's not, you wouldn't miss it if you didn't know Robert. So, once again, friend.
Thank you.
As a friend and a co-worker, appreciate it.
Same to you.
Now, Carol will get her chance in October. She'll be here 30 years in October.
30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, she
All right.
just started. Here, I'll let you get that.
You don't want to read that?
I'll let you catch glass.
You like that script too. It's not that easy. Lee, we're going. Why don't you come join us?
Now keep on.
Yeah, the Rookie 15 award to Lee, but I'm not going to read the same thing again. I'm going to take some time to say some things. Lee and I met a long time ago when he lived out on Kavaric Road. And he was in the building business then, and he would work with you as a volunteer fire at Wichita West Fire Department. And we had an opening come about in the emergency management position, and interviewed Lee, and he was a successful candidate because he brought two things we really hoped to have in that. We'd had with part of that with Jack Mezzo, was a licensed peace officer. Lee brought us that and a fireman, which are two important things because the amount of emergency management and solution and authority that the sheriff, with him being a deputy, which the sheriff has to do that for us. And so we're one of the few offices I know of that the sheriff and the county judge work together on the emergency management officer. And I can't think of a bump we've ever had in that road, other than sometimes we needed two of him. But we didn't need two of him all the time, though. But y'all were supposed to laugh at that. But yeah, thanks. Okay. Nobody. I thought that was good. Okay. At any rate, Lee, we appreciate it. You bring a lot. You give a lot. You ask a lot. But you don't ask anything of anybody that you wouldn't be willing to do yourself. And that's what we appreciate. Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know you're going to hang this in your office. Oh, yeah. Put it close because you're going to probably move to offices up also. Lee, I want to tell you I appreciate what you've always done. Of course, I met you with Wichita West and served with you on the fire service side of it. And I'm pretty sure when you first got on, you figured Wichita West was a pretty aggressive bunch of firefighters. And one of the things we wanted to bring into the fire service in Wichita County, and that whole realm of fire service has changed awfully since when you first got on to where it is today. And we were good thing about it, we were part of that, being able to change the way we respond to fires and safety of our firefighters and things. And unfortunately, we've had to endure some tragic with our own fire department, lost some firefighters in action. But it's altogether, the fire service in this county is one of the best counties of commitment of firefighters and everybody working together. And I really want to say I appreciate what you do with emergency management. It's a vital part. A lot of people don't realize what happens when we have the wildfires and the big seasons. They just think somebody just calls 911, somebody will put it out. There's a whole lot more involved with that. Not only that, working through emergency management, but being able to call the commissioners to bring out heavy equipment, bulldozers or road graders or stuff that make fire breaks. And I've seen one of our commissioners up here more than one time up there on a bulldozer pushing dirt and helping firefighters out. That's something you don't see all the way across Texas. It's very few counties that allow that to happen. And so I think the support of emergency management with this county commissioner's court is paramount to this county, and it's obviously it works every day. I appreciate you what you did. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, I would say that I've known David a long time, and when I started in the fire business, and I have him to blame probably for being in this job now, but when I was in the fire business and we responded to fires, and a lot of things were sideways or there's not much coordination with the county, things like that, and then Woody told me one day, if you think you can do it better, come do it. So that's how I got here, and I like to think that the fire business has evolved a lot since 9/11. A lot of new mandates have come out. Really, the volunteer fire departments just kind of have embraced that for the most part and done a good job with coordinating with not only each other, but the state and the federal agencies that we coordinate with too. So we have a great relationship, and it's a lot in part to do with the leadership of the county and the sheriff's office. Because without that support for the volunteers and what I do, it wouldn't be there. It just wouldn't. And it's a really good thing that we've got going on, and I hope it maintains for a long time.
Thanks again for the job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
Judge, I've got a question. Is there a longer-term employee than Robert?
I think Robert's it now that Maria
Robert's
retired.
top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Willie number 2.
Sir?
Willie number 2.
Willie, no, you're not over 40.
Oh, 35. Oh.
He's
Yeah.
with David. Willie and David are together, right?
What was your start date, Willie?
May of 82.
Mine was June of 82.
So y'all are real close in time served.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I just didn't realize that there would a 40. That's unreal.
Wasn't Maria Herring a 4-year employee?
Yes. Yes, sir.
She was 30-something. She didn't make 40.
She didn't make the 40?
I don't think so.
Well, do you get the gold Rolex at 40?
45.
45.
It's an iWatch now.
Actually, it's Fitbit, so you can keep up with
Fitbit.
your health. That's what it is.
But you do get a county watch at 25.
At 25.
Yeah. But it's not a Rolex. It might be a Folex, but
Real need something to
Yes.
take the stain off your wrist.
I'm sure. You know, that's subject to budgeting every year with Commissioner's Court. All right. I have two special friends here, many of us from the kitchen. Jackie and Pam, if y'all would come up and join us. I think you all actually want to do something.
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you for letting us be here. And I personally just wanted to show my appreciation to all of you because every single one of you in some way or another has been supportive of the kitchen, and we consider you personal friends. These plates have messages from our Meals on Wheels clients. This week and next week, we're handing these out to elected officials for the Save Lunch campaign, which is a national Meals on Wheels campaign to try to save federal funding. But the difference between these plates and the ones that we're sending to other elected officials is that these are thank yous, because we know how much you support us, and we just wanted you to read how much they appreciate what you do. So thank you so much for all of your support in every way. And we wanted to ask a favor. Can we take a picture of all of you with your plates?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You got a wide angle lens.
I do want to say this one this lady, Barry's, you and I deliver meals to her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and his wife, yes, deliver meals, and he's a faithful supporter. Thank you
Well,
so
when
much.
she's really hard up for help.
Well, let's go. Judge, stay out there, we'll just.
Oh, okay, that'll work out well if y'all do.
See, I thought the next person by was gonna be bringing the cake.
It was a trick.
You're gonna,
Sure.
yeah. Do you want to hold the place?
Give me a plate.
Whatever makes you comfortable.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know, Nancy.
We can get a little closer. Y'all come this way.
All right. One more? Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all. Thanks for what you do.
Yeah.
Girls, thanks for the
Thank you.
job you do.
Thank you.
Jackie, just wanted to say real quick before you run off, that I enjoyed, meeting you last week at the 50th anniversary of Meals on Wheels here
Yes,
in Wichita County.
Pretty
That was
exciting, isn't
Pretty
it?
awesome.
very exciting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, there's a little difference in the number of daily meals delivered as compared to now.
Yeah, just a couple, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple hundred.
A couple hundred or more.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all.
Jackie was telling me that on any given day, Meals on Wheels in Wichita Falls delivers 1,900 meals to our homebound senior citizens.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Plus what they do for the kids, those meals also.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's,
Then you add Burke, Iowa Park, Electra, and all that to it, that's lots of activity in the county. Lots of activity. Good program.
well, it's, better than 2,000 meals a day. So, all right. If I could ask the court to take action on the consent agenda.
So moved.
I'll second that, Judge.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Watts, second by Commissioner Muller to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any comments or questions by me?
Yes, I'm trying to find it. I don't want to pull it down, I just want to talk about it.
What was it about?
The county home, find it.
Oh, the children's home?
Yeah, the children's home. Number 7, motion to authorize county judge to sign revised lease with the children's home to reduce leased acreage from 5 acres more or less to 3 3/4 acres.
And I can explain that, Lee, is when we had Richard Boyd go out and survey the property, we realized that the fenced area was not really the leased area. It actually took up quite a bit more acreage, acre and a half or just over an acre and a half additional space that was really set out for that purpose, and then they had come to reside on what they have under fence today. And so this just puts it within the boundaries that you see when you see the children's home and the fenced area that it encompasses.
Okay, so it doesn't shrink it, the fenced area?
No, it's exactly the same as what it was.
Okay. Do they have a site plan for that?
Well, we have a lease agreement on that. Willie, and you help me, did we back up the back fence line on that at all? Or did we just pull in the side where that was? Because I was thinking Richard shot that and pulled that back fence in just a little.
Tell you the truth, I haven't looked at it.
Did Richard,
No actual site. I've got the
It was
surveys,
the actual fenced area,
The 3..
the 3.34, or was it what Richard surveyed? Because I'm thinking, Lee, that the back fence does maybe come in a little. It was after we talked to the home manager, I guess that's her title,
oh, yeah, the executive director over there.
executive director.
Sheila.
And, but it may pull that back fence in just a tad, but the majority, the real problem lied to the east side of the property where it went actually from where you see their fence today all the way over to the cemetery road. And kind of,
When Richard did that, surveyed that, did he provide us with a site plan?
yes, he gave us a plat of that as well there. But this needs to change. This needs to go back to the fenced area so it's true and clean. Like the boys' home, I mean the Girls and Boys Club, they're under fence. Everything they've got leased, and the work service is under fence. But this one is not under fence. You
Okay.
can't see what's leased there.
If the back fence is outside of what they've leased, who's financially responsible to move the fence?
Jody had said once if that was part of it, he would take care of that. Now, that's not in the lease,
Yeah.
but I think he needs to that's would definitely be his.
Sure.
But part of that changed when we were looking at putting in the veterans nursing home there. We did that, we changed, they had land going to the east, so we changed that and took the same amount but moved it on the land going to the south. That's why it's beyond the fence line there. I'm not even sure why that original amount of land was set up that way, but it was. That's quite a bit of land for them to take care of.
Lee, I'm relatively certain without looking, and I didn't look at the plat, but I'm thinking that there is about if you go to the south fence line of the Jody Wade property, and you head east down that fence line, and you hit the children's home backyard, I believe that back fence moves up of the children's home 40 foot north of that line. You follow me?
Fence
Yeah.
moves 40 feet.
Can
The
we,
fence moves 40 feet up.
would there be a problem if we tabled this and looked and got a better, good understanding of what we're doing? I want to make sure that we don't do anything that hurts the children's home.
Yeah, no, and that wouldn't be a problem at all. Then we could clarify, because if we haven't done the back fence portion, it needs to be, but I'm thinking that Richard surveyed, and because I spoke with her about that, and Richard, and it may not be 40, it may just be 20, that it gave, or if a person needed to, you could come off of our bulk property through that. The children's home prevents that from happening.
Well, can we just come back to it when we get everything detailed
Yeah,
out?
we'll just
Yeah.
remove it and bring it back when you get that. Along that same line, let me just jump over to no, let's wait till we get to that. On item 5 is the other lease that I had some questions on, but, okay. So, Commissioner Watts, Commissioner Muller, that's all right if you remove item number 7.
Sure.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. All right. We are down to item number 1 on general business, review and approve the emergency and regular bills.
Motion to pay our emergency and regular bills, Your Honor.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Muller, second by Commissioner Beecham to approve the emergency and regular bills. Any comments or questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 2, we need to wait until 10 o'clock on it because that was posted time for those bids to be turned in. Item 3 is discuss and review the jail maintenance projects and work orders. You all received the report on, I think, Thursday before Lieutenant Spiegel left. Captain Patterson is here and the sheriff. Any questions on that?
Only thing I have to say is, once again, they're on top of it. I mean, it's an absolute blessing.
Okay. nothing else, we'll move on to the next item, discuss and review the jail maintenance project. We got that, I'm sorry, to discuss and consider any actions remaining on the outstanding construction issues with the firing range. Commissioners.
On Friday of last week, we got our certificate of occupancy.
You moving in over there, Lee?
Well, we're legal to be in it now. We can have school if we want to. The items that are remaining have been tied to the new jail project, i.e. fencing, landscaping, part of the parking lot. I mean, it's all gonna be, that building, I believe our plan is to try to get the facade on that building to at least somehow closer match the new jail that we're gonna put up. Instead of having an ugly trailer out there on a $7 million project. So right now, the city has allowed us to put the brakes on and give us our certificate of occupancy so we can use our firing range as we see fit. But the remainder of the items, the fencing, some landscaping, and the parking lot stuff is going to be tied to the new jail project.
What about the, we're gonna put some temporary fencing up now around it? Because,
to be honest with you, Sheriff, I don't think we ought to put up temporary fencing. I think if we do put up a fence, we need to get with the architects. Let's put up the same exact fence that's gonna be left there from now on.
That's what we discussed. We also discussed
Yeah.
temporary fencing.
Yeah.
Just the fact that it's open and we've got some expensive electronic stuff that's, takes about 5 shots with, 9mm back that box and we're out of commission. I don't trust the people, it's on trust certain ones.
Lee, I was looking, I think we talked about this, you might have been gone, but instead of,
I think, yeah,
the range is not going to be in the master plan encompassed entirely. It's just going to be, it's going to be encompassed into the jail facility, but not standalone with fencing. And so we talked about, until that appropriate time came, could we not just put up like construction fencing just to keep those off until the time comes that because actually only 2 sides of the firing range will have permanent fencing around it. The interior sides will face towards the jail and won't be fenced off entirely.
Yeah, I think it will because the parking lots are gonna be accessible by the public.
Yeah, that fence was gonna be a different fencing than the exterior perimeter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
call it the high fence on the outside,
yeah, but the high fence will go around the outside of the.
the range. It'll be on the south side and then the west side along Spring Drive.
But there's not public parking on
there's not.
that side
Not now.
of the firing range. The side of the firing,
It's gonna be law enforcement
it's
parking.
all law
Yeah.
enforcement on that side, and that's why I
Is there
thought.
gonna be a gate?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
there's
the smaller fence will have to have a gate there.
No, I'm talking about into the parking lots.
The big, yes, there's
Yeah.
2 gates, one on each way, on way in, that the personnel working in the jail and working for the sheriff will come in one way, and you'll bring prisoners in that way to that sally port.
Yeah, that's-
The south entrance will be for freight deliveries and things coming for jail support. will
You
come in
can't
that
get
way.
to the firing range unless you're personnel.
The parking lot,
Yeah.
that's where the sally port is, isn't it? That's the parking
Yeah,
lot we're talking
that'll be
about.
on the east side of the parking lot.
Yeah.
But there's 2 entrances coming into the whole property.
So
One
there's
law
a gate
enforcement,
here?
everybody park, but then
The gate here?
by the gun
Right up
range,
here.
you still got to get in through the secure gate.
Yeah.
Get in that section.
Yeah.
Okay, looking at the plans, a secure gate is recessed in about 100 feet.
Right.
So
It drags
you
that
could,
fence with it.
you could
Yeah.
come in to the parking lot here at the gun range. So this little red dot, I believe, dictates the
There's-
fencing that's required for that. So
There's
it would
fencing
be,
running east-west that keeps you from coming from the parking lot. It wasn't going to be the same kind of level of fence, but it was still going to cut out casual traffic, somebody coming and,
Probably
walking
a
across it.
5-foot chain link.
this
fence.
looks
Yeah.
like, this looks like a good heavy fence.
Yeah,
This is just a light fence.
but this, we talked about the other day, doing away with, I'm sorry, that other interior fence.
He bumped it somehow.
That interior, we're gonna have interior on the south side. We don't think that's needed if you take from
Be on the north side.
to the north side and you could cut off the access to that. So that's gonna be lesser. Okay, no matter what fence we try to get between here and there, it's gonna take a while to get it.
And it's
We-
gonna be in the way unless it's just really restricted down to the L-shaped corner.
That was,
You're always
okay.
gonna regret it being in the way of
I
the
think that was the idea, was to get that part done. But the question was, could we get the correctional grade fencing, I think that's what we called it, that's going to be taller, higher, and going to have concertina. But meanwhile, what about, you said you had a lot of concertina water. What about putting three, how you put 2 rows next to each other and one on top?
Right.
That would be a big discouragement, I think.
Yeah, that's the plan for the correction grade, is to have Constantine at the top and then have it about mounted halfway down, 3 foot off the ground.
Yes, sir.
Not laying on the ground. If it's laying on the ground, you've got to deal with vegetation all the
Right.
time, so it's easier just round up and kill it all off or sterilize it. But then have it 3 foot up, that way no one's going to jump that fence to get over it.
Yeah.
It's a big deterrent for anybody to get up there and climb over it. Now, I've seen guys chase them. I personally witnessed them myself in certain areas of Wichita where they've got fencing around some housing areas. It's a 6 foot fence with 3-strand barbed wire. I've seen guys hit that, flip over that barbed wire like
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
No, I did not chase them over the fence.
I wouldn't mind it.
But the
to be-
Constantine wire is different. It's a different
to
story.
be completed, but I just know that it probably could be in our way some. That's the only heartburn I had with it. And I had looked at that temporary fencing at several different sites because I noticed Trinity Hughes has it in front of Market Street, and they have full-size tarpaulins on there that with their advertisements on it. And I couldn't understand what kept it up with the wind restriction that stuff
Yeah.
has, but, it's,
Makes a pretty good sale.
yeah, they're 20-foot panels that just go in, lock in place, and so I thought if we had to wait for a period of time or till the appropriate time, that would be what we could use, or
Well, whatever you put up out there while that construction's going on, prepare to get it damaged.
that's what
Well,
I'm.
if it's on that south side, there shouldn't be anybody
No,
over it.
it shouldn't, on the south, on that corner there, you could kind of do something,
I think, Jeff, if you have temporary fencing where it's anchored, not like permanent, but anchored,
yeah.
on the south side, just up at the end of the berm, wrap it around on the north side, right up just where the berm hits the ground, where you got deterrent people trying to get it and climb over it,
Right.
and just L it back in the area. You have to have a gate over there somewhere. I know we're talking about a gate on the correction side, get it to drive into the range area if we need to unload.
Yeah,
But have a walk-in gate somewhere, because right now parking is going to be on Sprague Drive. It's going to be parallel parking up and down that road, on range day, something like that. So we're not going to park in that parking lot, I think. Maybe we do, maybe we will.
You got an approach board now.
Yeah. You get up in there if you need to. But just the fact that it's temporary, just that fencing, just to wrap it, keep anybody out of there, because the deputies still check it. But being wide open is what really worries me.
okay, congressional.
We have people now who out there all the time for the public. That's going out there just looking at, taking pictures of different things and walking down there. What you gonna say, Judge?
I was just gonna say, I would hope we could put in the correctional grade. We talked to Glenda about determining what that would be like to get the right fence, put it in once, then put the interior fence along that north side and a gate, and then go on around. So actually the range would be enclosed. The fence towards the north side would not be the same security level as the
Right.
fence on the farther south and west of that, and east of
Because
it.
that east and south side of the range area won't ever be affected by new construction. Right?
No.
That same fence will be attached on there all the way back down to the
And-
facility.
And then the lesser fence, it'll be interior to all that, could be put in there, control less easy access to it. Okay. We need somebody to work with the architects and how to take that over, though.
Well, Jeff, aren't you on that committee?
Sure, I don't mind to talk to
Talk to
Linda
Linda.
and Matt
Yeah.
and see
Okay.
what they recommend. I just don't want it to get it damaged
Yeah.
or boat or it not match. That's what.
Well, that's what she was gonna work on, was to see what that, whether there was an extreme difference in those styles. Okay. All right. Okay, item 5 is discuss, consider, take action to award bid for a lease of 7 acres more or less of county farm property to Jody Wade Enterprises LLC as a bid price of $900 per acre for a total of $6,300 per year, and authorize the county judge to sign the lease. Has that lease been through, Meredith? Okay, I think it needs to, I think it's written fine. It needs to do that, though, just for our normal, to do that. And the second thing that concerned me in it, it didn't look like, okay, we're going to be, unlike ASCO, which is parking serviceable, meant to be used, sold things and parking, but we even have a damaged thing on them. Our ability to require cleanup after something sits out there and the oil leaks out of it and all that ground gets spoiled, it didn't look real clean to me on how we would.
I think didn't we use, Willie, the ASCO lease?
Yes, but I think we got a higher expectation of ground spoil than we do under the ASCO lease.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Well, do we need a cleanup bond?
That's why I'm thinking of something in the neighborhood of
I mean, that's
$10,000.
That's kind of a natural deal under those circumstances, just have a cleanup bond in place. I don't know what the amount would.
Well, I'm pretty sure that he would probably gravel that area,
Still going to go through it.
wouldn't you think? So if oil leaks on it and he's through with it, we could just go in there and chip seal it. Put more oil on it, pour some rocks on it.
Put legal oil on it.
Put legal oil.
Legal oil.
Willie, the length or term of this lease was for 5 years?
And then a 5-year extension.
It says 7.
Renewal options.
Well, the real kicker comes in, Judge, is we don't know what future use is going
That's
to be.
right.
I mean, that's the question. If it's going to be a parking lot, it's probably not a problem, but we don't have a crystal ball to tell us that.
But, I realized this weekend in thinking about it, we didn't have we kind of have verbal understanding of the fencing requirements, but there were some expectations of that aren't in there also.
Yeah. Well, I thought it had a deal in there about fencing would be in accordance with the city ordinances.
Yes, but it's kind of, the children's home were real adamant about wanting what he has, the top, which
The
is
privacy.
expensive against them on that one side. They want to have him encompass them with that same stuff.
Okay.
And I don't think we really spelled that out
No.
well in there.
No, we did. It wouldn't be enforceable, I don't think. We tried to do that with what we have now.
So maybe we need to clean up this one
Along with the other.
other one and
I would agree with that.
relook at that. But Willie, I really appreciate you helping get all this put together in the appropriate manner of setting it out. Willie's very good at reading the metes and bounds and what Richard spoke in when he gave us his listing, and Willie's got a grand understanding of that, so certainly helps.
Okay. So we won't take any action on that tonight. We'll get that cleaned up, both of those, and bring them back at the same time.
Yes.
Okay. All right, item 6, discuss or take action on a Dell quote number 1020195019671 in the amount of $3,007.08 for 2 Dell Latitude E5470 laptops and cases for the district clerk's office to be paid by transfer from 10412.3152 office equipment to line determined by the county auditor. I think Mrs. Flores and I have worked that out. What the court might do, those were going to be used by your clerks in the district courts when they were there, but we may have worked out a different solution to that, getting the bill of costs done without having to relocate them. What we might do is go ahead and approve those in just in case we don't, but I think we pretty well got there. Patty, are you comfortable? I'm not 100% comfortable because we haven't all sat down together. I've been carrying water buckets back and forth, and I always worry about that.
And no, I'm hoping it works out, but if some start falling through the cracks again, then I definitely want to be able to get them computers
Okay.
ASAP.
Then, Ashley.
Another thing too, to keep in mind is that when we do go live with Odyssey, things in the courtroom will drastically change. And there will need to be some sort of computer, which there already is a computer that the court admin uses. But the court admin's function might change in the courtroom. So just keep in mind, I would hate to spend $3,000 on a laptop that I can guarantee you will not be used when we go live with Odyssey. So if we could, I mean, if we have to, we have to, but if we can make it work without, that would be beneficial.
Do we have anything in, we don't have anything in transition that Patty could use?
Well, Patty and I talked about that, and I do have some, but I didn't want her to have to run down, every Monday or whenever she would need them to check out one, and then what happens if I don't have any? What happens if they're all checked out on the day that she needed it? So we were
Are these
nervous about
laptops
that.
like Nancy has or Meredith?
No, they're exactly like some ones that we bought earlier in the year that we used for checkout. The reason the cost is more is because I put 4 or 5 year warranties on them with accidental damage. So that adds about $550 to the cost of the laptop. That way, if it's dropped or screen is cracked or whatever, it's instantly replaced in 24 hours. So that's why they're a little bit more expensive than $1,400.
But considering how much they're going to be moved around in place, that's probably a good move.
What are we doing now without them?
This has not been done.
We haven't had a good system. That's what I worked on last week, was we weren't getting a good handoff. There was a process being done. The officer that was doing that decided they didn't want to do that anymore, that wasn't really part of what they should be doing. And then it fell back to Patty. What we've worked out is the court coordinator who has people in there doing the plea bargains on the felony criminal cases. They're now going to let them know, okay, this wound up going to be a plea bargain. They're going to send that information to Patty's office. She's going to prepare the bill of cost. And then somebody will run it around, or they'll email it back to them and they'll print it off there, because it has to be given to the defendant to be enforceable at the time of all the rest of their paperwork.
Like before he leaves the courtroom?
Yes.
So it's like right now?
Yeah,
Do it.
along with everything else.
And we previously have been doing that with the court administrator's office?
No, the previous had been done with the criminal district attorney's office, and they decided that wasn't part of their role and responsibility.
Okay.
The court administrator's been doing it for probably 3-4 months.
Yeah. So we're going to make that system work, but hopefully a little better.
Ashley, these laptops, once Odyssey comes online, these laptops will still be good for temporary use, right?
Sure, I mean, we could use them as checkout. I mean, of course, they could be used. I just, to spend $3,000 for a particular task for a laptop that it's not going to be used.
It's 2 laptops, right? They're $1,500 a piece?
Yes. And see, I purchased 2 new checkout laptops this year, and then I still have a third. So that I'll actually have 3 brand new checkout laptops for 2017 that we just purchased.
Okay.
So, I mean, yes, of course I could use them. Just, trying to watch dollars.
Right, okay.
But there would be sometimes she needs both of them. That's part of our problem. The courts, 2 of them operate at the same time.
And the county clerk has been doing this for quite some time. I mean, we purchased her laptops 4 or 5 years ago that she hasn't been doing bill of cost.
Okay. What's the court's desire? Do you want to go ahead and approve this and wait to see if we have to have them, or have it come back?
Is it causing an issue in our court system?
Well, it's just I would think it would be a more expedient way to process you know, I hate it that it's gonna change, but, it'd be, you would think, more.
I'm just asking, is it a real issue?
Well, yes, because if you don't
If it's a
give
real
them that,
issue,
you
then I
can't
think we
collect,
should do it.
collect that money.
Well, but, I mean, are you not at where you can loan Patty the two similar laptops?
Unless they're checked out.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely, I could loan.
I know, but she couldn't check them out for the next year.
Then I don't have it for checkout, and I'm about to hit Odyssey.
We have a lot of real temp usage of them that go
Yes, I
on.
have a ton of temp.
Well,
users. They'll come check them out for a
In
week.
fact, that's probably going to go up. So getting these two might.
Yeah, probably not a bad, it just adds
Yeah.
to her inventory to do that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind giving them to her as long as I could get them back
Yeah.
on Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean, someone could check them out from her Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and as long as I got them back.
Thursdays or
It
Fridays.
sounds like we need more
I
inventory.
think we do too.
Okay.
Judge, I'm gonna just say so moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Harvey, second by Commissioner Watson to approve the item as stated. Any other comments? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Okay, item 7, discuss or take action or authorize IT department to purchase a Microsoft Surface from Microsoft for an amount not to exceed $3,000 for information technology systems administrator to be paid from 100.412.3152 office equipment. Ms. Cully?
This Surface Book is for Cody Bradley. This is a budget item for 2017. He has an old Dell tablet. It's actually 4.5 years old. It's actually hit its warranty and end of life. So this is a replacement for him.
Why is this one 3,000 and the two we just bought were 1,500?
This is a Surface Book, like what I have in my hand. It's not a laptop.
Okay.
So he has a very expensive laptop like what we have along the lines of Nancy. But when we go out to work on stuff or to work on tickets or whatever, this is what we take in the event. I mean, we can do a lot of things from these, and it's, you know, those things are great, but they're very heavy, and so for us to put that in our backpack and go work on a computer is garbage.
And that one might survive an accident. This one won't survive the accident.
Well, these have accidental damage on them. It's the same, so,
Okay.
you know, Josie Avotny, I'm gonna pick on her, but she dropped hers the other day and shattered the screen, and I had a brand new Surface within 24 hours. So the accidental damage is a really neat thing. It's just, like I said, it costs about $550 for the term, the life of the.
I see.
Okay.
Judge, it's a budgeted item. I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Marler, second by Commissioner Watson to approve the item as stated. Any other comments? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item 8 is discuss and consider take action to authorize the IT department to purchase additional tables and chairs from K-Log for the technology room for a total amount of $2,356.85 to be paid from 10409.4902 general fund contingencies. Is there any reason not to take that out of that other proceeds that we have for that, for the software equipment?
That's totally up to y'all.
I think we ought to take that out of there because it's going for that room to do that purpose.
Yeah, you know, many years ago, you and I sat down and we bought some tables and chairs for a training room, and that's what we've been using. But there's only enough space for 15 people. And having our technology committee, we almost fill up those spaces. We are set to receive our first data push the last week in September. Our first data push last week in September. And we're going to be starting to have our weekly status meetings, and those status meetings will include not only the technology committee, but all of the SMEs. So I don't have enough space for everybody to sit. And these are going to be something that's going to be used from here on out for training.
I think it was a great area set up for that. It works good. It's close enough quarters that you can hear it good. And
so this would just give us 4 more 6-foot tables and then the additional chairs to fill those seats.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Debbie, you think the number of that fund, the Wells Fargo loan, is Fund
403.
403? Okay. Okay. Motion by Commissioner Muller, second by Commissioner Watson, with changing the general fund to purchases to be made out of Fund 403. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 9, discuss, consider, take action to approve Webfire Communications, Inc., quote, 4117 for the amount of $1,430 for the monthly recurring telephone services with payment from county department supplies and operation lines as determined by the county auditor. Ms. Cully?
This quote was actually included in the initial RFP. The auditor has asked for me to pull it out and give it to y'all for court to be approved. There is, I believe, $2,000 that was for the initial installation and transferring of lines. Like I said, it was included in the RFP. And then the $1,400 is our actual monthly service fee.
Is that for our internet?
No, so that's actually for our phone system, our phone bill.
And what do we pay for our monthly internet?
I believe it's, honestly, I don't know. I think it's $1,500, $1,700.
Right at it, 14 or 15.
Something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head.
And what was the one, actually below that, the 2,000 was just a installation charge, right?
Correct. So, our system is hybrid, but our outlying areas are all IP. And so there are some POTS line or Plano telephone lines, and those numbers had to be physically moved. And so that's what that cost is. It's, there's more 20 POTS lines. Those are $26.50 a piece, which is considerably less than what we're paying before. We're paying about $38 a line. And then the 2 PRI circuits, which is our main set of numbers, our 400 numbers, that cost us $900 a month. So that's what we did 14.
Well, and are those lines, the $26 lines, are they fax lines?
Yes.
Now-
There are some residual, Lee has a couple of POTS lines that are used for like a modem. His gate has to have a POTS line, but most everything else is fax lines.
Will that change if we go to the fax package of where,
Yes. If you do some sort of fax server where you don't have individual fax machines, yes, we can drop all of the actual fax POTS lines, like I said, except for the ones that are used
for other things? But will that be something that we would run through our system, or would we go outside to, like I use an outside person that gives me my faxes via email?
I mean, ideally, it would be just another server that would hook on to the existing phone system that would serve as a fax server. It's the one that would control the numbers. We probably would have a cost. I mean, to me, a 1-800 number is the ideal thing to do. Buy one 1-800 number, and then that'd be your fax number, and then set it up to where each office has an extension, and then when someone faxes, they dial that extension, and it sends it to via email through the server. So the server knows that that extension is supposed to go to Lee or Commissioner's office.
That's what I get. I get an email that says fax, and then you just open the attachment and there's the fax.
And we're doing that in some offices now. I mean, the Xeroxes that we have, we'll do a fax forward, but the fact is you still have to have the phone line to receive the fax.
Right.
Okay. Can we take action on item number 9 then?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions on that item by anybody? Okay. Motion by Commissioner Watts, second by Commissioner Beecham, to approve the line item as stated. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 10, discuss, consider, take action to approve Webfire Communications Incorporated quote number 4117 for the amount of $2,000 for non-recurring telephone installation charges from Fund 404, 2016 limited tax note as established by the county auditor.
So
we
moved, Judge.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to say we just talked about that one.
Yeah, but we called it 403
In
in the previous one.
that's what I'm wondering. Devin, is it 404 or 403? Because they're two different ones. Because this reference, that one I referenced is the Wells Fargo, which was.
That one is for the technology stuff. Well, that's the software one, actually.
Yeah, this one actually should be 403, shouldn't it? No, this one's the micro, is the telephone system. Yeah, that's the difference. This is the telephone system, and it was under the other note because it's hard, it's not the software stuff. Okay. Okay, is there a second?
Oh, second.
Thank you. You may have said that, I lost it.
But just for peace of mind, we've taken the phone bill from 2 years ago was $9,900 and X number of dollars to $1,430.
Very good, very good. And is, Ash, you feel pretty good? I've read quickly the email you sent this weekend about the, I guess Judy was helping us with that, but we've got that lined out, you feel like?
So what's happened is, I mean, if we weren't a governmental entity, that this probably would have gone like it was supposed to, but whenever we started transferring numbers over from AT&T to Webfire, our bill is cut off. I mean, where there's no information going across the lines that belong to AT&T. So with your home phone or your business, they automatically see the transfer because they initiated the transfer, and they'll disconnect the line. They don't do that for us. So we transferred all these things over, and AT&T just kept the bill and just kept charging us, even though they were not doing anything. So that's where that $5,000 phone bill has come from that y'all have seen over the last 3 months. So Ripley and Kevin have been working with Judy and our AT&T rep, and they've gotten us taken care of, and now they're working on trying to get a credit for the previous bill that we paid that was $5,000. The deal was a long distance. That was an oversight on our part of not installing the correct line. Ripley credited us that first set of long distance charges. The SIP lines that y'all already approved are installed. There's just configuring that has to be done. That'll be done this week. Then we'll go back to the free long distance. Until then, we're still using the touch tone where you put your department code in there. That bill has drastically gone down. But that's the same kind of deal. We have to disconnect that service. They don't just do away with it once the numbers are transferred.
Yeah.
So she's aware that we need to disconnect that.
Good deal, that'll help.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion by Commissioner Watts, second by Commissioner Muller to approve the item as stated. All in favor, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item 11 is discuss, consider, take action to approve the Gonzalez construction quote dated August 3rd, 2017, an estimated amount of $2,000 for floor repair in the evidence room to be paid from the Permanent Improvement Fund. Commissioner Harvey.
In the new evidence room, there had to have been some type of equipment that was on like a rail of some sort. I don't know why it was there, but it's about a 2-inch trough that just in the floor that goes, it's about 6-8 inches wide and long as the room is. And this is to fill that in to make the floor flat.
Do you have to tap into the edges?
We're gonna put some kind of, I'm not gonna say it right, polyurethane, something to do with the fiber needles. I don't know what it's called. It's some kind of special grout that's high pressure, so that you don't have to.
But it won't break out of there.
It won't break. Once it's dried, you can hit it with a sledgehammer.
Were we just leaving the floor then
Flat.
That
Yep.
surface like it is with concrete?
Yes.
There's not a need to put any kind of grip material or
No.
it's good enough.
It's gonna be a concrete slab. And once the guy gets finished troweling in the little troughs, it'll just be smooth. Roll a grocery cart across it.
But I mean, spilt water won't make you slip on it. It's not that kind of
Well,
finish.
there won't be
It's just
water
a
in there.
concrete floor.
There shouldn't be any water in there.
But I mean,
Well, I
factory
realize
workers
that, yeah.
worked on it, right? I mean, it was used, factory employees were always over it. And
Well, it's
Yeah.
not super slick concrete.
Right.
It's
No.
just-
That's
It's
what
just
I
regular,
wondered about.
No,
yeah,
it's not a burnt finish.
no.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
And who is that,
It's 10:03.
group?
Yeah.
But Lee, who is that fella from Wichita?
Yeah, he's from
Do
Wichita.
you know his first name? Dave, did you know him or?
Garland Prince came up with it.
Garland knew him?
It's the same people that put up the center block brick and closed in the wall.
Any air conditioner word? Nothing yet?
And the air conditioner word,
I don't think he's found anything yet. I told him to expand his radius.
Yeah, you can drive a little
Comes up
ways.
with something Michigan.
you can drive a long ways for $25,000.
Yeah. We won't go, past Nevada or California.
Yeah, just don't go past California.
You don't believe stuff's in Hawaii, though.
Yeah.
You find them in
All right,
Hawaii,
Jeff,
I'll
I
go
found two of the
over there and
American Indian Union, Honolulu.
The
I'm
stuff,
gonna leave
Wednesday.
I'm gonna leave Wednesday to go get them.
check. Yeah.
most of the
Okay.
stuff he gets in Hawaii is not battle worn like stuff coming back from the other direction.
Okay, we'll go back to item number 2. Nancy, did we receive any bids?
I just called Joyce, she's going to look and check.
No bid?
I didn't get any really good.
Can we rebid, Judge?
Yes.
Okay, so can I?
AJ Moe, he does that stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah,
AJ?
Catlin.
Is it
Brent
AJ?
Catlin does too.
Who?
Brent Catlin, especially where these are at, it just slipped up on there. I'd had him turn in something.
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll re-advertise and get it done.
Do we need a motion?
No, sir, I don't think, we already approved that, we'll just do it again. Where are you advertising that, Willie, in Electra or in the Wichita paper? Okay.
But if we'll reach out to that Moat company and the Catlin company, at least we'll get 2 bids.
You got 7 on that, the information list.
Yeah, well,
Everyone that was listed.
Oh,
Was there any, is it the asbestos that's causing trouble with it?
It could be because that was still an outstanding
Can-
issue with asbestos.
Are you expecting this group to deal with that as well?
Well, that's.
Could-
you have to have an abatement company do
It's in
that.
They would be responsible for that.
So they could bring a third party in to do that?
Right. But the problem is, we did not have the completed inspection reports to furnish. So
They don't really know what they're dealing with then, do
Well, I
they?
don't blame them for not bidding on
Are
it.
they completed now, Willie?
they will be this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so we really don't know yet quite how much is in there.
no.
Hopefully,
I'm gonna say, I went into the house on Wranglers, and after it flooded, they completely gutted that. And it's a later model construction.
It's later
I
model.
don't think there's gonna be any asbestos in there. And the one on Miriam, that flooded in 2007, and it was totally gutted and
Yeah.
rebuilt. So if there's any in there, it's gonna be very little.
Okay. So it's possible that both of them have 0.
They may come back clean, but there's always.
Now,
gonna be
what
some.
about the one down on Huntington?
That's not on
The
the
bank
list.
refused the offer. So that one's gonna be.
Yeah.
That's normal.
One Mark Wheeler owned,
Yeah.
the bank foreclosed it. They'll own it forever,
Okay.
unless they want to abate it and fill it.
Because that was a one-time offer from us.
It is in the floodway big time.
Yeah,
It's actually a little tributary there that backs up around that house.
yeah.
That house on Huntington is in the floodplain, in the floodway. initially, he issued a damage certificate to that to over 50%. Well, couldn't be rebuilt, and when I sent it to him, when I sent him an email asking the question, he sent it back and said he had revised that to 39%. So the bank's free to sell it, somebody can fix it now. He said he made a mistake, he did over 50, now it's 39.
Because they told him they needed it to be revised in order to.
I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah.
I mean, after it sits on the market for 15 years, they're gonna come back to us and say, hey, we want you to buy that house now.
No,
Well, no, what Lee's saying is that they can, under the way that
They can sell it.
they can sell it and let somebody live in it because they didn't make the damage over 50%.
My point is, like the judge said, they'll never sell that house to anybody that does any kind of homework, knowing that it's in a floodplain or a
It's
floodway,
in the floodway.
and they'll never sell it.
I don't know, Lee, if it's cheap enough, somebody will buy it.
Yeah.
Judge, did you know that fella, that was the McDonald house, and he had a series of Eldorados and Cadillacs?
I didn't know him. I knew that I'd seen some of the cars around there at times, especially when we were out there on the previous flood working in that area so much.
Did you know him, Barry, who that?
I know where it is, but I didn't know people.
I didn't know what he ever did, so he had a collection of
Yeah.
them.
It's not too far from my mother-in-law's place there.
No.
I sent
Okay.
Francis a note, the bid package on August 7th, along with.
Yeah, but I bet you they were leery with the asbestos.
Without the
report.
inspection report on the asbestos, that's why nobody
Can't
bid
get
it.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Anybody in the audience, any comments to bring up?
I think there's, me and Lee were discussing the houses on regular, the other one, whether or not the FEMA will allow those houses to be burned by the county fire departments as training drills. And, I think it would hurt to check that, to see if, make sure there's not a caveat there with the Fed to say, obviously, one of them is a newer model construction, and it's not gonna have any asbestos in it.
Sometimes the salvage person wants to salvage all that stuff out of there first, and then you can possibly burn
But
it.
these are really gutted, Lee.
You have
They're
to-
already salvaged.
You have to let a contract after the fact and it's burned to still get the slab out and the burned.
But you know, Catlin bought a big two-story in Iowa Park that they did, big, that was an all-day event, maybe two, that they played with, and that was a cool deal.
And it burnt two of them, as a matter of fact.
Well, whatever we do, if that would work out separate of having, once we get the property conveyed to us, then fine. But those people have been 2 years living in turmoil.
Oh, yeah.
And we need to get that finished and done. At least get them out of it and get them whole on their money.
So they don't get their money until the house is tore down?
No,
Well, we
they will
pay.
get their money on closing with some things held out, and part of what, then if it's it's called the ICC money that has to do with the demolition and all that. But let's don't make this any more complicated. Let's try to get everything done we can do. And then if that comes about,
When the county owns, after closing, the county owns the properties, then we go on with the demolition process, but we have to own them first.
Well, the judge just said that we can't own it until it closes, and we need to know the prices so that we can withhold monies for demolition
that's
from
what we're working on.
the, right.
Okay. All right.
So nobody bid on the demo.
But we think that's because the asbestos report wasn't in yet. So, okay, but we'll have that. Flint's doing it this week, I think.
Well, like Flint Skaggs did it last time, he did the asbestos abatement, he did the report and he did the abatement also. There's two different companies there and he bid on that to do the abatement, so I don't know why anybody wouldn't bid on the demo because the asbestos abatement is already gonna be done no matter what.
Well, I don't think it was said it that way in the advertisement.
No, it's gonna be asbestos free when they do the demo.
Yeah. Okay, we're not there yet. Okay. Anyone else in the audience? Okay. Commissioner Beecham,
I have nothing, Judge.
Commissioner Harvey, Commissioner Mahler.
School's starting, be careful in school zones when you're driving. It's a change of the season. Still a lot of road construction going on. Our crews are out working. Just be careful when you're driving. It's a very dangerous job to be out on those roads, and they do it every day. we certainly make sure we have the appropriate flagmen, signs and all that, but still, just, give them a break when you see them working. Had our little, Hawk Explosion Saturday night in Iowa Park, which was introduced.
Feathers went everywhere.
Sports teams, they did. Good-looking bunch of kids, I'll tell you. And sold some high-dollar cakes for the Booster Club. It always helps when you got somebody sitting behind the guy bidding to run them up. Kerry Waters got some help from Randy Catlin. It was pretty funny. He never knew what hit him. But it was a good.
There was quite a bit of fireworks too.
Yeah, fireworks were good.
Always.
But the best part of it, full house, full stands, a lot of support, and just a great evening. So.
Well, and y'all did this year the hamburger thing.
Yeah, they did a feed. Did a feed, and the point is I love to see these small communities come out and support their schools. It's real important. It's an important part of the community. They do it all across Wichita County. And it's a good thing. It makes it a good place to live.
Well, they really turned out at Electra for that band banquet. That's another awesome deal they do over there.
Yeah.
We have good support, and that's great. That makes our community stronger.
Guys like me, we can't afford to buy one of them pies.
Yeah, that's good.
I asked them if they'd sell it by the slice.
Mr. Watts?
Had a great time in Florida, glad to be home. We really debated on coming home. But it was a great time. I did watch a little bit of the Okaloosa County, Florida Commissioners meeting. They run it, and they may run live as well, but it's pre-recorded and they run it that afternoon, so it lasted several hours. I didn't watch all of it, but it was a great production. I have quite a few in attendance to that, so I was amazed by that. It seemed to be relatively routine to our order of business that we do. I didn't notice anything odd or real unique. A lot of reports from different departments that they spend some time on. They come up and give those.
I wonder what their funding system is.
I don't know.
Property tax.
Is it? I mean, I wonder. I don't know.
Florida.
They've got a real low sales tax, I'm thinking, too, though, oddly enough.
Well, and I wanted Mark to just recap over Holler and Hale coming.
Yeah, it's coming, ready or not.
Ballers out there chip sealing.
Not with the back.
No, please no. Yeah, look out for the bikes this week. They'll be starting into town Thursday. Events start Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Off-road events on Sunday and Friday.
Do people try to go run that route, kind of get an idea?
Yes, they started up April.
Really?
Yeah.
Not kidding.
So, I mean, this week they've really been building up to just get through it and kind of make sure they understand.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll
That's
run it.
something people don't realize also is always watch these guys, right? Especially now, some of them are practicing. I came up 367 from Loop 11 of the day. It got just before I got that first curve. There was two, and they had the whole lane. They were just going, at 20 miles an hour. And I thought, man, some of these, hot rods getting that road, they like hitting those curves pretty fast. And I thought they covered that curve, they'd have wiped them both out. So I had to stay behind about 250 yards, about 20 miles an hour. I wanted to protect them. They had no idea who I was. I was even behind them. They just doing their thing. But we've had people killed.
Well, I'm never associated. I'm seeing them daily and have for a long time. When you go my direction home or down 367, I never thought about them kind of reviewing the route. I just thought they were practicing. And a lot of bikers on Cisco Road. They come up there from 1954, I guess.
Yep.
MSU Bike Club, they go out almost every day, every other, I don't know how many times a week, they go out to the eastern part of the county, the lower roads, and they got a huge pack and they go out. It's about to it.
And a renowned team. That's a top-notch team.
Yeah, top 2 or 3 in the country every year. So
Yeah.
The activities on Friday night start at 5 o'clock around the courthouse.
Right. Some offices I've heard are closing as early as 3 the day, no, not the day before, but
Maybe.
maybe, but,
Where do they all go eat spaghetti?
over at Impact at the K. Yeager. And I've been told I will be home sometime Thursday night from our conference in time to start at 8 o'clock that morning. So,
That's Friday morning?
well, we started Friday morning. It serves from 4 to 9
Okay, Friday evening.
on Friday evening, but it takes a while to get it set up and everything.
How is that spaghetti cooked, Judge?
They boil it and they clean out some of the dumpsters from the city and then
Use the whole thing.
Now, the Restaurant Association has a slick deal of doing it, big tubs, it's well done, and then the Interfaith Outreach Services serves the meal and does all that, and it's a fundraiser for the Restaurant Association for scholarships and for Interfaith for their rent support program and stuff.
How many will they feed, Mark?
On the spaghetti dinner, I'm not sure how many they feed.
I just wondered what kind of
It's
fish they-
somewhere 6,000 to 8,000.
That's lots of spaghetti.
It rivals Pancake Day.
I was gonna say, that's more than pancakes.
No, it's not.
No, it's
Pancake's
not?
over
No.
10.
Oh, they did? They
Yeah,
did?
yeah.
Did we set the world record, or we tried to
No,
one time?
we tried to.
And we didn't make it?
No, we didn't make it. I think we picked the wrong time, but then they turned around and did it in Lubbock, and they doubled the previous record.
Oh.
But you've got such a bigger area drawing people. You know, Lubbock's itself is twice the size of Wichita County, and so you got to draw around there, and so yeah, kind of blew us away. But
So back on the hotter than hell.
yeah,
Our court administrator, Nancy Gregory, has taken that over from Sherry Jones in the law library. And I believe this will be your third year?
Yeah, doing it.
Running the rest stop.
Her second year, which was last year, she got second place. All the rest stops out there. Rest stop number 5.
Who beat us?
The Kiwanis or
Last year,
Tranners, yeah.
Trainer.
yeah,
Trainer.
Red Kiwanis.
They must have had beer.
Kiwanis had it 2 years in a row. I don't know what they got going over there, but
Nancy gonna do that after you drive it?
Yes.
this year,
Make sure.
Nancy has sealed the fate for Wichita County. The number 1 position will come to our number 5 rest stop this year because of what she's added to our rest stop.
What did she add?
140 feet of bicycle racks. No more throwing your bike in the dirt at our rest stop.
Oh, is that how
Yeah, right.
typically it's done?
Yeah, you lay them down
You
everywhere.
throw them in the dirt, you throw them in the road.
Let him in the road.
Now they're gonna hang them up, and they're gonna be,
You're still gonna throw them in the road.
it's gonna get us first place right there.
Some of them are gonna hang them up.
You just
Yeah.
hang them like with the hook, or is
No,
this actually a rack?
Set the
Just
front of the
set the
seat.
seat on
Set the front of the seat on the rack, and it holds it up.
Okay.
You know, could we, when we finish, finally get one of those and put it out in front of the courthouse so we'd have a bicycle rack out
You'll
there?
have to talk to Nancy. She bought all the building materials.
No,
Well-
I was really kind of teasing about that, but we've talked about that bicycle rack out there for how
Well,
long, guys?
Commissioner Muller asked, we looked at those S-curve racks at the machine shop, and we
I got
had a
it.
difficult way of twisting that pipe, but if we could come up with an alternative.
You can just order it
rack-
off the internet.
Yeah, S-curve racks aren't the standard anymore.
What, if you'll give me a picture, Mark, of that, and I can price it both ways and see. If you give me what's current, but I mean, we just need like a 5-holer or something, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I haven't seen any bicycles piled up out there anywhere.
No, but there are people that, I see them that come,
We really need one at the annex too. It's,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Downtown though, they'll park them on behind the big electric boxes
Yeah.
in the gravel area just outside the doors too. I've seen them park over there quite a bit. You don't see them unless you walk through there every day.
Put it over there where the grass doesn't grow to the north of the entrance there. Okay. Just had to ask about that. It's almost been in planning longer than the jail. Okay. Had a great weekend, the Ranch Roundup. You had a chance to go to it. It was interesting. I didn't get to see, but our Attorney General was here for the Friday night event. And Had a lot of people.
Ken Paxton.
Yeah, Ken Paxton. So, all right. Other things we have today at 1:30, the Law Enforcement Committee will meet to revise the selection of the CMAR at risk contractor. We had 3 that bid on that. We interviewed the 3 last Thursday. So we'll come together at 1:30 and select one of those 3. I did receive an email over the weekend from Rodney with Yates, just thanking us. He thought our interview process was good. I don't think that was meant to sway anything or anything, but at any rate, I did want to make sure that was known. I did not respond to
Again, good.
the guy with Yates. His name's Rodney, and I can't remember his last name. Sent a deal just saying he appreciated the interview and that they were allowed to do that. Then at 3 o'clock today, we'll have a salary grievance committee for Constable Precinct 4 has filed a grievance about the salary we have proposed for him.
Is that full court, Judge? Is that posted or?
That the salary grievance committee?
Yeah.
No, sir. That's 9 members.
Just the committee?
Just the committee.
Okay. I was confused whether we were supposed to meet with
I
them.
didn't hear anything last year. We had dealt with quite a few of the member selection process. How did that all go about this time?
Well, we drew the names. 6 of the members are elected officials.
They're standard, right?
They're standard, and they can't have a substitute. And then we drew 5 other names, right, from the grand jury list.
Oh, okay.
We've had 4 of those say they can be here.
How many does it take?
3.
Oh, okay.
Do y'all have all those names?
Yeah.
Who were they?
I don't know, that's what I'm asking.
Is it okay if I say their name?
John David Duke.
Yeah, I know I got that.
Yeah, you're on it.
Woodrow,
Yeah. So the court doesn't meet with
Woodrow
them.
F. Gossel.
Yeah. That was my question because I had it on my schedule and I was confused as whether the court was supposed to meet with them or, so we're not.
No, the court is
Yeah.
not. No.
Okay.
Commissioner Watts will be there to present why we selected that salary.
Okay.
Maureen Shelton, Thomas Hine. How many is that?
You sent me a
You run out of fingers?
And Mr. Hampton. That's it.
Just plain old Bob's.
And then who were the others selected from the grand jury court?
Gary Southard, Cindy Galbraith, Teresa Williams, Bruce Lilly, Delphina Flores, Eileen Chellet. 2 of those said that no, they could.
Gary Southern, who is that?
Attorney. I think the same one.
Oh, did I mispronounce his name? Southern?
Actually, it's Southard, I think is what you pronounce
I
it.
said
Yeah.
Southern.
Did I give you and then Tuesday, we have a Commissioners Court work session Tuesday, August 22nd. It is the whole court along with the sheriff and the jail captain to discuss the Helen Farabee and Southwest Medical proposal on mental health services.
Is that in the morning?
That's 8:30
in the morning?
8:30 Tuesday morning, and then depart for Austin after that.
Are you right with me? He likes it because he can go over there and work on his stuff all day. You
Yeah.
don't have to drive.
Okay, it is 10:26. Let's take a short